Back to Breakfast Television on this Friday. Meredith Shaw, Tammie Sutherland, Sid Cicero here with you, 8:50. All right, let's get into it. Because it's now a few weeks removed from the debate between Biden and Trump that didn't go well for Biden. There's been a lot of talk inside the Democratic Party and a lot of interviews and appearances from Biden trying to reassure people. It doesn't seem to be working. Fair to say, going into the NATO summit?
Definitely.
It wasn't working. So the NATO summit held in Washington yesterday, 75th anniversary of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which includes us here in Canada. Big moment, big event. We're going to show you two moments from Biden's day yesterday, and I cannot stress enough, these happened within 90 minutes of each other. The first one is him saying thank you to Volodymyr Zelensky, who runs Ukraine. He called him Putin. And then at a press conference not long after that, he called Donald Trump his vice president. For those who missed this, take a look.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better. I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
It's hard to watch.
It's hard to watch.
It
Tam.
is.
It really is hard to watch.
Yeah, it's tough to watch back. I watched both of them live. And the first flub was the introduction of President Zelensky. And watching it, the entire, just the speech there, he seemed okay. Like everything seemed like it was going as it should, normal speech. And then you think, okay, he's about to just pass the baton to somebody else and introduce them. And that moment, you just went like head in hands, like, oh my goodness, what is happening? I'm glad he caught himself. At least that shows there is some...
Do you think it mattered he caught himself?
I think it does. I think that it does matter that he caught himself in that moment. At least there was some kind of awareness, something clicked, that yes, he said something incorrectly. The Trump, Vice President Trump, I know we ourselves, we're all human. We make these mistakes. I make them all the time. However, it just seems like on this such a public stage, this was not the time to do any of this. And these were big flubs. This is introducing the man of the hour.
I just think, we were sort of talking about it yesterday. There's a relatability to this if you have aging family members. I mean, we have seen these moments of this person is no longer exactly who they were. Even yesterday, 2 days ago, these changes happened quickly. And I think we're just seeing that play out. He, unfortunately, is in the most highest position of power, in the free world. And so we have a lot invested in this. The conversation now, though, becomes what can happen if he is no longer fit? Like, where are they going? Because this battle they have up against Trump, it almost feels like you don't want to speak too strongly, against Biden's capacity, because then that just opens up the door for round two for Trump.
Agreed. And CBS News is reporting that dozens more Democrats, we're already at about a dozen plus, right? People from the House of Representatives and one senator who have said publicly, not behind the scenes, publicly, President Biden should not run. CBS News has a lot more coming out today. We'll have more on that next week. The Putin mistake, tens of thousands of civilians of Ukraine are dead. Don't do that. Don't do that with him 3 feet away. With the teleprompter, by the way. He had a teleprompter for that. Don't do that. But the one thing I took away from the NATO press conference at the end was he can govern. Joe Biden is of himself enough to govern. His grasp of the world is still very good based on what I heard, but he can't win. And I think there's a big difference between the two. He said in that press conference, the American election doesn't start till Labor Day. So after Labor Day, there's 56 days between that day and the election November 5th. Noon rally in Pennsylvania, meeting a union in Ohio at 3 p.m., rally in Michigan at 8, try and get some sleep. You're in Wisconsin at 10 o'clock the next day. And over and over and over and over again, he's cooked. He physically, he's not going to be able to get through that, let alone 4 more years of this job. That point is clear. So we're going to see where this goes. By this time next week, he'll have stepped down. I don't think this continues much longer because they got to get going on the convention next month and figure it out. But I think we're learning a lot, and this story's not near over. Let us know. Feedback at breakfasttelevision.ca. More BT coming up after this.